Looking forward to catching up with this dude, man. He's a real one. Always a great conversation. And I know it's going to be a great conversation today. He's been on my show before. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, DJ Boulevard Rod. What up, dude?
Yes, sir. What's up with you, Dustin?
Man, can't complain, man. How's everything going with you? How's your 2024 going so far?
Man, everything's smooth. Just a little stressful because, the streets don't have no love for nobody, man. So it's like every time you leave the house, you expect to come back, just like how you came out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's I ain't gonna lie, it's wicked out here right now, man. I mean, everybody getting into it, all, different sets. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the drugs or what it is, but, man, the police got their job. They got a full-time job messing with these youngsters right now, man.
Yeah. You go way back, man. You grew up in the 80s in LA, 90s. What's the difference between back then and in 2024?
Well, it's kind of a little different, but as far as the drama, it's kind of like the same. It's like a lot of older dudes my age or maybe older, they be like, all these dudes, they ain't like how we was. I kind of like and, disagree with that because these youngsters out here, they kill. They ain't playing no games because, like, there's so much going on. Cause I know a few times you probably see me post stuff that was going on in LA. I posted on my Instagram page. There's so much of that going on. I ain't even gonna lie. I can't even post all of it because it's constantly shooting back to back every day. Like, some of those youngsters named Stevie Boy for West Boulevard, he lost his life in the club, and I saw the video of it. He got stabbed and lost his life that fast. And, behind him, I done seen, on Citizen now, where it's been back to back, shooting. I'm like, damn. So these fools, they going at it, it's like nonstop. And it's, it's different hoods, from the east side to the west side. So to me, it really ain't a difference, but the caliber type of, dudes that was banging back then, they more vicious than the ones now. Like back then, they was doing way more vicious crimes, for as like on, blood and Crips going, for as like the Crips gonna shoot the Bloods up and they come back. But the way how they was doing it, it's kind of like a little different. It's more vicious back then than it was now. It's kind of more they wild the way they doing it now. But to me, it really ain't no difference though, man. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Since you've been on my show, man, let's give everybody a quick recap of our first interview, and then I would love to talk about some of the new stuff that's been going on out there in the streets and out there in the YouTube streets and all that good stuff. So let's take it all the way back, man. Remind everybody where you grew up.
Yeah, I grew up on the east side of South Central. The first part of the east side I grew up on, from a baby, was like in the area where King Boulevard and Avalon. But, back then, that street was Santa Barbara. So I grew up there, in the late 60s, all the way to about 71. And then my mom's moved on 46 in Ascot, in that area right there. So from there, from 71 all the way, till as an adult, I grew up in that area right there. And that area right there is considered like 40 Power Rule and Bloodstone Villain Hood.
Mm-hmm.
And
and
it was real. Yeah, and it was real vicious over there too. And the whole part of the east side was real vicious back then. Cause I don't know if I told you that the first interview, it was all about it was a lot of bullying going on, and most of the bully coming from as far as like the older dudes that pick on the younger dudes. It's almost like being in the jungle, like the lion gonna pick on the weak, and that's what was going on back then on the east side in the 70s.
Now, the east side has always had a certain reputation. In LA, everyone knows it's pretty rough in that area. In fact, that's where you grew up or where you live now is where, PNB Rock was unfortunately gunned down at the Roscoe's, right?
Yeah, I won't stay too far from there right now.
The east side, like I said, has always had, just being a reputation of being ruthless, and correct me if I'm wrong. The terms Eastie, and there's other terms out there that describe the east side of South Central. What makes the east side different than the rest of South LA and LA in general?
Me personally, me growing up on the east side all my life, and I got family that live on the west side. So like in the summertime or the weekend, I would spend the night at my cousin's house, and he used to be from Roller 60. But to me, the difference was in the early days, it was way more grimier on the east side than it was on the west side. Because you got to think, majority of the blacks on the west side, they had the 2-parent home in the house. But on the east side, it kind of like it wasn't a lot of that. A lot of us grew up without a father. And, I was one of them that grew up without a father. Then a lot of my friends, they grew up without fathers, or their parents was on drugs. So, just me personally, it was way more grimier on the east side of LA, and and can't leave out Watts either. But Watts was just as grimy as the part of the east side I was from, because Watts considered the east side too. So yeah, that was to me that was more of a distance. Even like some of the dudes I was cool with on the west side, they'd be like, "Man, I don't like coming over there, man. Y'all, y'all grimy over there, for y'all scandalous." So we always had that reputation of being, real grimy and scandalous over there on the east side.
Yeah. Now, you said you were born in what year again? Did you say 69?
67.
67. Okay. So you've seen LA go through several changes. Take yourself back to the 70s, even up to maybe 1980, 81, before the crack epidemic hit and things like that. What were some of the changes you remember, going from the 70s to the 80s in LA?
For the 70s, it seemed like more majority of people, it's kind of like, basically say like living like poor. And, yeah, that was like mostly all the 70s. And then say like once it came into the 80s, in the early 80s, say like 83, 84. So that's like when the crack hit. And then you start seeing like a lot of blacks having money. And, far as like they having cars, everybody got, buying, all the Steelers stuff or whatever. And then like the 90s, it kind of changed where the blacks were still having, most of the drugs, but it started changing in the early 90s. So by then, I was already going to the pen in 92. But back to what you were saying, for the 70s, you didn't really see too many black people balling out like how they was in the 80s and the early 90s. So it's kind of like when the dope slowed down for the blacks in the 90s, it was a lot of robberies. And then, from us targeting on each other, robbing each other. Because say like in each neighborhood, somebody, one of their homies might have, the sack, the big dope sack. But then, he got to deal with the sharks, his own homies or dudes that's not, they neighborhood not too far from that hood. They gonna try to rob him. And then from there, when a lot of them dudes got locked up for the crack cases, then that's when the robberies went up. And then for some, in the early 90s, a lot of different sets, started robbing banks. So a lot of dudes started going to jail for robbing banks, or they was getting caught up in the crack law, running the dope shit out of town. And then, so, the federal prison was full of Crips and Bloods, just based on them two things I was just saying right there, as far as the bank robbery and the crack cases.
When did you start DJing?
I started DJing in 1981. I was like 14 years old.
Ooh, so I love talking about old school shit like that. Let's talk about what it was like being a DJ back in 1981. It's not as easy as these kids have it now, where they bring a laptop and they're the DJ for the night. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us about what it was like being a DJ back in 1981, setting up, putting shit down. All the records, all that stuff.
Yeah, hey, that was a trip back then compared to now, because I'm still DJing right now. So in the early 80s. It was me, my two older brothers, and then later on we clicked up with 3 other dudes on the west side. So it was like you got 6 DJs getting down in one night. So the big difference of back then, you had to carry all them crates of records. So back then, by me being that young, I didn't have no money to buy records, so my older brother didn't buy records. So then you got to think the other 3 dudes that we linked up with on the west side, they buying records. So that's a lot of crates of records. But as being a DJ back then, the DJ was the main part. Yeah, and if you was a good DJ, and once they announce your name saying you coming up next, I say damn near probably 30%, 40% of the party, they gonna stop dancing because they want to see the DJ get out. Because remember, it was cutting and scratching, freaking like on the turntables, like showing out. So everybody wanted to see who that DJ was, to see how how he get down. But like I say, back then the DJ was like the most important part of the party and shit. And everybody respected the DJ. Nowadays, they don't have no respect for the DJ nowadays.
Yeah. What kind of equipment were you using?
I was using Technique 1200 and the new Mark mixer. So that was like back then, that was the top of the line stuff. As far as the speakers, in the beginning, my brother and them, they built their own speakers. And then like later on, after they stopped DJing, and when I was DJing on my own, in the beginning, I didn't really have my own speakers because our speakers that came up stolen. So I had to borrow some speakers from this dude named Country. He was like a OG Eastside dude, but he really sponsored Avalon. He didn't have time to really be doing that, so he said let me keep his speakers at my garage, and he had the Serve in Vegas on speakers. So I was using them for a while until I got my own stuff.
Yo, those Technique 1200s, they weren't cheap back in, especially 1981. Is it safe to say that you were maybe doing some stuff on the streets to fund your dream that you were working towards?
Yeah, kind of like say like yeah. So yeah, you're right. Cause look, back then, say like if your turntable was broke, I really didn't know no shops that to fix them. So it was basically like I got to buy another one. And I really didn't have the money to buy another turntable like that back then. Because like say like that's like 84, and I wasn't into the street like that. So the local dudes in the neighborhood, they would give me the money to go buy the turntable. So that's how I was able to spend that kind of money on Technique 1200. Like you said, it was expensive especially back then. The turntable was like about $375, $400 just for one.
Whew.
And then that's not even including the needle. You got to buy the needles too. That was like a couple of $100 too.
Early 80s, it was rough, no doubt about it. Gangs were on literally at the height, the peak. Everything was going crazy in the 80s. What was it like navigating as a DJ, throughout the neighborhoods and things like that? Did you ever have any issues when you're in the wrong neighborhood?
You know what? Not really, because like I said, it was kind of like a respect thing for the DJ. Don't mess with the DJ, because mess with the DJ, you don't have no party. So
yeah,
okay, yeah, because say like when I stayed on 46 in Ascot, I grew up with a lot of blood. As far as I went to school with them, but also it depended on what school. Like in elementary school, it was Bloods and Crips going to the same school, so we were still partners, even though some of my friends were Crips and some was Blood. So as I grew up, when I'm DJing, by me staying in the Blood neighborhood, a lot of the Bloods catered to me. So I used to do a lot of house parties around that whole East Side. So a lot of Bloods, like I said, they knew they was cool with me. But once I stopped DJing and started selling dope, and once I started gangbanging, the ones I really went to school with, they stayed cool with me. But the ones that didn't know me, they're the ones that they were trying to do something to me whenever they got a chance to catch me slipping. And so that went from to where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be DJing no parties, around there by my mama house, because that's a Blood neighborhood. So I would like go to my hood to DJ parties, as far as doing house parties or something like that.
Okay. All right. So you're DJing, you're doing your thing, and you mentioned earlier, 1992, you were in the pen. How did it go from, DJ Boulevard Rod, DJing parties, to you ending up in the penitentiary?
So the thing was like this, when I was like kind of like half-ass still DJing, and I used to have a lot of people in my mama's garage, because they used to be in there breakdancing pop lock. Mom's working this hard job. She used to drive the RTD bus back then, working 13, 14 hours. She was getting tired of that, so she basically like kicked me out. Not kicked me out the house, but saying like I got to stop having all this activity at her house because she's tired. So that led to where I'm seeing the dudes I went to school with, I see them selling dope. And at the time, I was like, in the 12th grade, so I started ditching. So that led to where I wasn't going to school, but I'm still staying in my mama's house. And she want to see the report card, and I'm lying. She know I'm lying, so she like, you got to get your ass out or go get you a job. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to do neither one of them. I want to sell some dope. So by me being over there in that area, which is 43rd between Compton and Long Beach, them dudes was Crips over there. So the Pueblos used to come over there and mess with us over there. So by them seeing me over there, excuse me, so that's why they was on me. They was like, okay, you must be a Crip, you hanging over here. But I got a lot of cousins that's Bloods, and I used to tell them like, hey man, tell them dudes I don't bang. But they weren't trying to hear that. They like, you over there, you one of them. So And you know, the homies like, man, you might as well gonna start banging the hood. And so it led from the dope, selling dope, you know, to gang banging. And then from there, I had a little run doing that for selling dope and gang banging. And that was like in the mid 80s. And then next, you know, when the early 90s came up, that's when we started, you know, my neighborhood was known for robbing banks. So once I did that and went to, got caught up for that, that's when I got caught like in 92. And I went to the pen from there and I took a deal for 15 years. And that's how I ended up in federal prison. So after 15 years, I ended up doing 13 and a half years of a 15-year sentence.
Talk to these kids out there, man, who are doing the same thing you were doing back then to get by. I mean, I get it at a certain point. You know, sometimes I understand that people have to do what they have to do. It sucks the end game of it. But, you know, talk to these kids out there, man, who are doing things that may lead them to serving 15 years in prison. Talk about how that took a big chunk out of your life, how it changed you. Talk to these kids out there, dude.
Yeah, the best advice I got for these young kids, no matter what you see on social media or you see the average, you know, dude that's out there having money and you want to be like that person, that's the wrong idea to have, because one thing for sure, when you go to prison, I don't care if you was making money, like you had like $1 million. When you go to the pen, it depends on who you leave your money with. They're going to spend it up. You're going to be in jail broke. When you get back out, you're going to be broke. Then you're going to be trying to catch back up with the Joneses and do it again. You're going to get caught again. So really, trying to have some money the illegal way is really not worth it. You better off going to get a job, and that way you ain't got to look over your back, and you know you can just live. You can live a normal life, because for real, the gang banging life or selling dope, all that, you ain't gonna get nowhere doing that. You going to jail. You ain't no getting around it. Then look at all the cameras they got everywhere. So it's hard to do a crime, and not get caught. Even if you got away, all they gonna do is backtrack all the cameras. You know what they seen you do this crime at, and they gonna come get you. So it's almost like you never get away with it. So like that's why I kind of promote what I do, and I do talk to kids every now and then. I tell them, I say, look here, man, you see what I'm doing? I work for myself. I can work when I want to. I don't have to worry about the police pulling up on me, talking about, do I got some guns or some drugs? I tell them all the time, I say, man, it ain't worth it. I said, hustling in the street is really not worth it. If you're going to hustle, the legal way, you can work for yourself. It's really easy to start your own business, and you ain't have to have a lot of money. Now, with DJing, yeah, you do have a lot. You got to have a lot of money for as you want to buy the right equipment, to sell cost. But say, like, I got a mobile detailing business, and that really don't even cost a lot as far as buying equipment. The average pressure washer like $350 if you buy from Home Depot. Mm-hmm. You can get a used water tank for $100. So everything, you can get all that stuff under $1,500, and you can start your own business. So I try to stay on the youngsters. I try to tell them, like, man, you can go get a job. You can't say you can't get a job because they hiring everywhere. Or you can start your own business. But a lot of them really don't listen because they see everything on Instagram. So a lot of stuff on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. That right there, to me, it's kind of like it's poison in their eyes, and that's what they want to do because they see that's the easy route out. It was the same way with me. As far as growing up on the East Side, I see everybody that I grew up with, they making money selling dope, and that's what I wanted to do. But like I said, then I'd have been to the pen, and I see what life is really about. And I'm like, nah, that shit wasn't even worth it. So that's why I try to teach these youngsters, man, go get you a good job. Or if you got some money, start your own business, and you won't lose with that.
Thank you for saying that, dog. There are so many ways to make money nowadays, especially if you're 25 and hungry. You know what I'm saying? You're 60 and hungry or whatever age you are, you know what I'm saying? So just imagine if you had double the energy that you had as a 25, 30-year-old, man. Kids, do not miss this opportunity. You have a phone in your hand. You have a business in your hand. Easy. You have several businesses in your hand. You can trade stocks on your phone. Like, there's no excuse not to make money, bro.
Exactly, you're right. Because some people make a living off the YouTube channel. Say like,
that's my goal. Okay, it ain't happening yet, but that's my goal.
Yeah, on the real. Because say like, I almost jumped into that the stuff with WACK 100 doing, but I'm like, man, I ain't got time to be out here fighting nobody because, you know, Dusty, I want to move around in LA. I don't want to have to be watching my back, but you know, I can easily start a YouTube channel and start up a bunch of mess with different neighborhoods. But I'm like, man, I ain't finna do that because I'm not.
You got to walk around.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Let me tell you a story, dog. Charleston White.
Yeah.
Charleston White about 4 or 5 years ago. I've known Charleston White for about 4 or 5 years. I may have told you this story before. Most people knew him. He was on Facebook. We connected, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, he came on my show early 2020, maybe like January 2020, something like that. You guys can check the stats. It's on my YouTube channel. But he came on my show, did an hour interview before most of the world knew who he was. So long story short, he's like, yo, and this is the beginnings of him kind of acting an ass a little bit, doing and saying things, you know what I'm saying, that would agitate people. And he was like, hey, you know, maybe we should partner up, you know, and do something. You know, I was doing my thing. I had what was called the Uncle Tom Show, where I was just pointing out bullshit in the black community, and he liked my vibe. And, you know, at that time I was digging whatever message he had, but obviously now it's a little different story with some of the things he's saying. But long story short, he's like, yeah, let's connect, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dog, I live in Los Angeles, homie. I have to walk around this motherfucker. You are pissing everybody off in this city. I am not trying to be connected to you. All due respect, do your thing, peace. And the next thing I know, he's dissing Nipsey Hussle and saying fuck this person, F that person. I was like, I'm glad I made that decision. Just going back to the point that you were making, you got to walk around this motherfucker, dog. They don't.
Yeah. And LA big, but it's not.
Exactly.
Somebody gonna catch you. Yeah, they gonna catch you in the street, and they was like, yeah, man, what's all that shit you was talking, man? I heard you on YouTube, and you gotta stand on it, or you gonna look like they gonna make you like a buster, because they gonna sock you out on you know, online. They gonna put you on the internet. Yeah, because I know it's a lot of dudes. They just waiting to catch WACK 100. I know they is. Yeah, so I'll be like, damn, like this dude too old, you know, to be doing what he's doing, but I don't know how he's moving around, but I guess it's working for him because, you know, so, I mean, the only time I heard they got caught by Nipsey Hussle on Bodyguard, and it was another time the 6 supposed that pushed up on him. I guess they was at like at a concert or something like that, but I don't know what was really the results on that. But man, I couldn't put myself in that position, so that's why I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, because really I could roll around South Central all day and get all kind of negative content, but I'm like, that ain't cool for them kids. Because, you know, every now and then I do be posting positive stuff on my page or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, man, just to make some money. And then I got to be, you know, watching my back. So I'm like, no, I ain't going to do that.
Thank you for making that decision, dog. Yeah, real talk, man. All money is not good money. I'm going to tell everybody out there right now, it's easy to get 100,000 subscribers. I could literally do it by doing just what Boulevard Rod said. Dissing a bunch of people, picking fights with other YouTube station channels, putting that in the title. Like, it's not that hard to, like, in a sense, it's not that hard. It's a lot harder to do what I'm doing and trying to go about it the positive route. I'm still trying to get 40,000 subscribers. If I started dissing people and saying F that person and this channel and fuck that channel and this and that, I would be at 100,000 easy. But I got to wake up in the morning. I got to look myself in the mirror, and I have to walk around these LA streets. And I'm not trying to, I'm 50 years old, dog. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, get into some shit. So yeah, I don't know how WACK is doing it, dog. You know what I'm saying? But you wanted to go down that route, huh? But you said, fuck it.
Yeah, I was like, nah, because like I say, I know, you know, the stuff I'm doing, DJing and detailing cars, I'm like a straight target. You know, they catch me easy, man. And you know, you got to think, if I'm DJing, I'm posting the flyer, the address exactly where I'm at. So I'm an easy target. So you know, I wouldn't even last probably 5 or 6 months, and you know, motherfuckers would be on my ass like, yeah, what's up, man? What's all that shit you were talking? And like, you know, say I got to stand on it. And by me, you know, I used to beat, you know, as far as I used to bang, you know, I'm going to stand on it, and it's going to go bad. So either I'm going to be in jail or I'm going to be dead. It's going to be either or.
Yeah. At 65 from something that you should have, you know, not been doing. Yeah, I feel you, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like I say, and it's easy for me to get a team behind me, especially if I'm getting paid doing that. I can pay some of my homies like, hey, man, I need y'all to roll with me, man, just in case these fools push up on me. But that drama right there, it's gonna be like you know, back in the 80s and the 90s, as far as like it's gonna always be constantly drama. And like I said, I'm going to jail because, like, okay, to me, even though Crip Mag wasn't out here doing no crimes, but look, he had to carry a gun on. So look, now he back in jail again. Now he in the feds.
Yeah.
So look, he can't even, you know, I know he didn't know nothing about federal, about the federal, but look, he probably thought he was gonna go in there and bail out. They won't even let him bail out.
Nope.
So yeah, it's a different ball game up in there. Like, you're gonna sit your ass up in there now.
Do most of your time, and when they come after you, if the feds have anything, they have patience like a motherfucker. They will wait months, years
They
to
sure
build
will.
a case on your ass, because when they take it, they want it to be solidified, and 90% of the cases, the Fed cases that go to court, the person ends up doing the time.
Yeah, because probably what they did, they probably sat back and watched him, and they probably like, this dude keep getting caught with guns, so they know in their mind he keeps a gun on him. So they probably sat and wait till he caught his next gun case, and okay, let's go get it.
Not only this, bro. Not only this, and this, if there is a trial or anything, I don't know if there is, but this probably will come up in court. I remember watching a C-Mac video months before he got, and he's literally it was maybe a 30-minute video, but there was one line that caught my ear. I was like, why did he just say that? He said, "We always got the burners on us." I was like, why did you just say that, dog? That's perfect. That's the feds clipped that little piece. They did, and they fucking used that against you, man.
Yeah, and they just sat back and watched it, and like, as soon as he catch another gun case, we're going to get it. Yeah, the game is cold, man. Like, all the stuff they putting on the internet, like you said, he told on himself, and he got himself in that federal jail. Now, it's a lot of Hoovers in the federal prison, and a little difference, the federal and the state is, a lot of the federal jails don't have gun towers. So a fool can be stabbing you for a while till the police get there. Then you got to think, some of the police, they might be scared you run up on this dude with a knife. So they're going to have to wait till the whole goon squad come. This dude probably didn't kill you by then.
Damn.
Yeah, because a Crip on 40 Avalon, he got killed by the DC dude. And the Crips told us, hey, man, don't go over there by yourself, fucking with them dudes. And he took it upon himself. He went over there, and they ended up, I think they stumped him out. And they ended up killing in Victorville. So that's like California backyard. That's because they sent all the gang members to Victorville. And they killed that youngster, man. I'm like, damn, how that happened in our backyard? I was still in the feds at the time when it happened. Like, his neighborhood and our neighborhood don't get along. But I was looking at it like, no, that wasn't supposed to happen, man. Ain't no way in the world y'all did. Once I got the word, they said, man, he went over there by himself, fucking with them dudes. I'm like, damn, that's cold. And that dude was young, too. We had like 80 years. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, so people, they go to jail. You ain't promised to come back out of there. A lot of people lose their lives up in the pen. It just ain't televised like that. Especially in the feds. They really not going to put it on TV like that. But a lot of dudes lose their life in that federal prison.
We talked about WACK 100. We talked about C-Mac. I would love your general thoughts on a recent situation on No Jumper. I don't know if you keep up with things, but since I'm in the YouTube arena, I keep up with pretty much everything that's going on out there. But they just had a guy on. WACK 100 was with him. It was WACK, Adam, and this other guy named Loose Cannon. Are you familiar with the Loose Cannon interview that just came out recently?
Yeah, I just saw some of it.
Okay.
I haven't saw the whole thing.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down for you and for anyone else out there who may not be familiar with what I'm talking about. So Loose Cannon went on ADAM22, No Jumper, and stated that he got a call 30 minutes before Nipsey Hussle, his life was taken from him, saying, hey, did you hear that Nipsey Hussle was killed? So then he supposedly calls Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle's still alive at this time. This is 30 minutes before Nipsey was allegedly killed. He says, hey, man, I just got this call. You good? Everything good? So Nipsey says, yeah. 30 minutes later, Nipsey is unfortunately gunned down in the parking lot. That just from an outsider situation, that was a very interesting interview to me. What are your thoughts on that whole situation? Just the interview piece of it, I guess I should say.
Yeah, well, when I seen that dude say that, it's like this, man. It's so much. It's so much buffoonery stuff going on. Because you gotta look at it like this. Okay, that dude on the interview with WACK, he's a 6'0", but sitting right there next to WACK. And this dude WACK can talk so bad about Nipsey and Big U or whatever. And it's almost like it's hard to believe that really happened. Me personally, the only way I would really believe that's what really happened for us, Big U called him and said Nipsey Hussle dead, he would have to have that on a phone conversation. I would have to hear that, because I really can't go by his word because for one, put like this.
So what he says is, let me cut you off for 10 seconds. What he says is that he has a TV show coming out on Urban something network, and that he is going to allegedly release. So this whole thing was to plug a show that he apparently has coming out, I think in April. And that's when he's allegedly going to play the phone call that he got 30 minutes before Nipsey passed. Allegedly, this is all up in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard him say that too. And I'm like, and you know what? That's what I'm waiting for to see if this dude gonna, you know, had a receipt. If he's gonna bring the receipts. I really want to see this. Okay, now kind of flip it to where, remember WACK 100 saying somebody showed him a video of Nipsey Hussle kissing his baby mama after this dude, you know, then exploded in her mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, WACK, you say you got that, you know, you say you stand on business. I want to see you put this video out, because me personally, the internet is so vicious, they can put people's faces on other people's bodies. And it look real. I just seen Mike Tyson's face and Snoop Dogg's face on another body, and you couldn't even tell that wasn't him.
Yep. AI is a motherfucker, dog.
Exactly. Yes. That's why I'm like, man, it's a lot going on right now, you know, as far as with these podcasts, you know, as far as YouTube. And okay, say like I have a long history of knowing about the Rolling 60s because, like I said, I got a cousin from there, a dude I used to break dance with, he's from there. And one thing I can say about them dudes don't play no games when it comes to, like, you know, doing something to their enemy. And the part I'm tripping on, and I'm like, how is 600 and this new dude just named Luke, whatever his name, how is they able to do what they doing and moving around? I'm like, what the hell is going on? I ain't gonna lie, for a minute, I thought WACK 100 and Big U beef was fake. Because I'm like, how's you around here dissing him and you moving around like that? So I don't know, man. Like I say, you know, I'm really gonna sit back and watch and see if this dude gonna come up, you know, with his show and play that phone conversation. I want to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, my jaw dropped when I heard that. I didn't even know to expect. My brother sent me a link, said, hey, check this out. And I was like, I'm way ahead of you, but I hadn't checked it out yet. And as soon as I listened, I was just like, all right, going along. And then when he said that, I was like, wow. First of all, I was surprised that he was saying that on international YouTube platform. That was a weird thing for him to say. You know, I want to ask you about ADAM22. I guess my thoughts on ADAM22 go either way. I understand he's a businessman. I understand he knows what people click on, and there's that aspect of ADAM22. But there's also another aspect of him. He's a civilian like myself, so I understand that part. But he does and says things that I, as a civilian who is walking through this, I'm walking through an arena where I got to be careful what I say. I have to respect everyone, you know what I mean? And I've heard him say so many things on his show. You know, I've heard him use certain words to disrespect gangs, like even just joking about it, but still using it. I would never do that. I can never do that. You know, I've heard him say, you know, things like, I don't know, I'm rolling, like consider, like just things like that, just things that a civilian should never say, but he's getting a little comfortable, you know, with the people he's hanging around with. But what are your general thoughts? That's my thoughts. It's not about me. It's about DJ Boulevard Rod. What are your thoughts just in general on ADAM22 and the No Jumper platform?
Man, me personally, the only word I can kind of like use for him, and I might be wrong, like J. Edgar Hoover, he's using us against each other.
Break it down.
Yeah, I'm watching him. And, you know, say like I listen to dudes, you know, like Cam, you know, the rapper Cam from Watch.
Of course.
And yeah, you know, and these dudes exposed to him and you know, V-Lad and all them, whatever. And it's crazy how our people, they constantly keep going on this show. Because I've been meaning to post that on my Instagram page. Like, why y'all keep going on all these different podcasts when, you know, and like, first I was going to ask you, you know, before I put it up, you know, can I put, you know, like, why y'all won't go on Dusty, you know, Vision Pay? Why y'all won't go on Dub C, you know, podcast?
Feel free to do that anytime, homie, anytime.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, why they keep going on there? Okay, so what? They got 5 million, you know, subscribers. My thing is, why are you going on this man's page telling all your business and get yourself locked up when you can go on somebody else's page and still get the same type of clout? You know, everybody gonna know who you is if they go on your page or if they go on WC podcast, whatever. But I'm just like, damn, what is wrong with our people? Because, you know, like I say, Cam and them, they already been exposed to V-Lad, you know, saying this and that. But our people steady keep going on their page. But like I say, me personally, they like J. Edgar Hoover. They cause the confusion amongst us. Cause like I've been meaning to put on there, like why do they keep talking about black business? You know, for as like why they talking about the rap or gang banging? Well, why they won't go do interviews with the skinheads or the area brothers? Why they won't do interviews with their people? They just keep targeting on our people, and that's the part I don't understand that shit, man.
Damn. Yeah, you broke it down, man. J. Edgar Hoover. That's probably the best. And I think the same thing, man. I'm like, I feel like he is this puppet master. And once again, you unfortunately, there are willing puppets. And I'm not calling anyone, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone up there, but there are certain people who are being led by ADAM22. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's really hard to fully blame ADAM22. Like you said, we got to eventually blame the people who keep going on those platforms. If black people stopped watching ADAM22, his show would be disappear in a week. If we boycotted ADAM22, his show would be gone in a week, period.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That dude's making a lot of money. He making a lot of money off our people, though. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you ain't knocking his hustle. You really got to knock the people that's going on there that's making this platform bigger and bigger. And like I say, my thing is, I'm like, damn, like, why they not volunteer to come on, Dusty podcast? Why they volunteer to come on, even what's the dude from Fathers Hoover? He used to work for ADAM22, T-Rail.
Oh, yeah, T-Rail. I like that. Dude,
yeah. I think him and AD, they got their own podcast now.
Fig and, Unity and Fig World. Shout out to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and ain't nobody breaking their neck going over there, to blow their stuff up, because one thing I learned about us, man, we really are the trendsetters, man.
Mm-hmm. If we say it's really cool, it's cool. Once we say it's not cool anymore, it's not cool anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. And you see, like I said, ADAM22 and the other fools, they constantly keep coming to get our people. Like, man, go get your own people. Blow up off your channel with your own people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, like, don't mess with the blacks, period, but I'm saying go blow up off your own people first. I didn't want to switch the subject, but say, like, I'm glad Katt went on Shannon Sharp on Club Station.
Mind, dog. You were reading my mind. That was literally going to be the next thing we talk about. Keep going, though. Keep going. That's what we were about to talk about.
Man, when I seen that interview, I was like, man, I wish I could see Katt, man, and shake his hand, man, because I'm like, man, I'm glad you went on there and didn't go on No Jumper or V Last Show. I'm glad you went there and he blew him up, too. Yeah.
Oh, man, 60 million views or something like that off top. Just, wow. Yeah, he blew Shay up.
He sure did. Yeah, he did his thing too. I ain't gonna lie. He like some of the comedians say, oh, he lying, this and that. Even if he is lying, he just kind of like did a Charleston White. He blew up. He blew that internet up, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah, he did that. I really tilt my hat off to Katt Williams. Like I say, they saying he lying about certain parts or he lying about this, but. So like this, if he did lie, he told the truth in it though. Yep, he told a bunch of man, he stood on what he was saying for as like put like this, all the stuff he was saying and some of that it's on the internet.
Yeah,
far as like they stealing jokes,
stealing, and
yeah. So that's why I'm like, damn, man, this fool Katt, he ain't no joke, man. He did his thing though, man. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad he blew up Club Shay. I'm glad he blew it up though, because that dude, Shannon been posting up how many new subscribers he got since that show, how many views on there. I'm like, God damn, boy. I'm like, man, he did that.
Good for him, man. That's what's up, dude. That's what's up. Yeah, someone else I wanted to talk with you about is have you been keeping up with the whole P. Diddy situation, Puff Daddy, and that whole mess that's been going on over there? Yeah, man.
I know Puff Daddy shaking in his boots every day. Yeah. I know he hoping like hell that somebody else don't come out on him, because and then it's like I don't know how if they gonna charge him with something. I'm like, why is it taking so long? I don't know if because they investigating on it what, but man, it's so much stuff going on. But it's crazy though. Everybody's been talking about the gay stuff about him for years, so that ain't nothing new. But what blew my mind was the TDJ thing.
Power bottom.
Yeah, I didn't know TD Jakes was going to them parties, man.
Man, he should be far away from them parties, dog.
Exactly, yeah. Like, what is you doing? And I didn't click on the video, but I just saw the title of a video where his son supposed to have said my dad was making me go into these gay parties. I'm like, damn, like what the hell going on? Cause I heard he's supposed to have, I think one son, his biological son, I think he gay, and I think he got two stepsons that's gay. For what I'm hearing, I don't know how true it is. So, you know, like they use that word allegedly, you know, he's supposed to have like some gay sons. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, man. So I don't know if you've seen the video. I was clowning. I posted a video. It was security guard or police. He was dancing, you know, in a gay type of form, and TDJ was standing there with his hand in his pocket. And I'm just like, damn, like, okay, everything is coming out now. So I don't know if you've seen the interview with TDJ did when he was in church. He was like, even
I did a whole show
even
on
if
it.
it was true,
even if it was true,
repent.
God's gonna forgive me. There's plenty of forgiveness in God's heart. I'm like, you motherfucker, that was your out right there, dog.
Yep. But you know what I hate about our people though? No matter what,
we still gonna give them money.
They still gonna support them. They still gonna support them. That's one thing I can say about our people, man. We'll settle for anything.
Sometime too forgiven, many would say.
Yeah, because remember, they were still going to Eddie Long Church till he died, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And they knew what he was doing. They had the evidence. And they were still going to his church. That's crazy, man. So everything I look at in life, for what we talking about Puff Daddy, he's still going to have, you know, people following him, TDJ. So, like, kind of flipping it, like, we was in the pen, finna have a food strike. And when they opened the doors for people to go to work, because we laying down everything. We ain't going to work. We're not eating or nothing. So I seen one of the Bloods dude who I grew up with go to work. I'm like, man, what you doing? Shit, man, ain't none of y'all sending me no money. I'm looking at him like, come on, man. Like, I know you ain't finna go to work. Hey, Dusty, he went to work. I'm just like, man, you got to stand for something. He's like, man, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm going to work, man. Ain't nobody sending me no money in here. And, you know, basically, I run that up like, don't nothing change, man. No matter what, anybody that bucks the system, you're gonna be looked at as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do, like the actress, the female, the one that played on The Color Purple, part 2.
Oh,
Taraji, yeah, because she spoke out. You best believe there's other people probably talking about it. Man, she needs to shut up. She gonna mess it up for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, some people might not say it online, but you best believe people in the background, man, she needs to shut up, man. She gonna mess it up.
Taraji, damn, we trying to get the little that they're giving us right now.
Yeah. And it's cold, man, but hey, Dusty, that's not gonna never change. Yeah, that's not gonna never change, no matter how many
people
dudes
yeah, hopefully until people like Taraji and other people just speak up and say, this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it's gonna be like that forever until we,
Yeah, it is. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first seen people vote for Trump, like them 2 black girls, I don't know if they was in the church or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just like, damn, like, man, look at our people, man. We buck dancing for real. I'm like, man, this is crazy, man. Look, you know, no matter what, it's always gonna be like that. That's not gonna never change. Like, basically, like, you know, they had a light-skinned slave in the house. And the dark skin has him outside. So, you know, they use us against each other, man. That's what ADAM22 is doing. He's using us against each other. Because, like, he'd be on there. Because I seen when he tried to clown WACK 100, basically him not taking the fade with JD. So, you know, WACK 100 had to, like, cuss him out and say whatever he said. I'm just like, look at this, man. You know, like, fools don't even see what's going on. This dude just using us against each other.
Sad.
It worked. Yeah, it worked every time, though, homie.
Falling for that shiny nickel, man, that they're dangling in front of our face. Yeah, man. It'll make us do things that we normally wouldn't do, man. And I kind of, you know, I'm not trying to wish a downfall on ADAM22, but I wish more of our people would just say, you know what, I'm done with this guy. But I'm guilty, dog. I see an interesting interview, I'm clicking on that motherfucker. So I'm trying to control, you know, myself as well, man, because sometimes I need that BS. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they like I unsubscribe to both of their channels, but like I say, you know, their videos still pop up. So if it's certain people I see on there, I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got the view off of it, but I unsubscribe to from ever since Godfrey. And I think the dude from Brand Nubian, all them,
That's when I unsubscribed from VLAD.
Okay.
So I thought, yeah. So it was like
Lord
only
Tariq.
videos I watched.
Yeah, not Lord Tariq.
I think that's him. Yeah.
Dude from Brand New.
Yeah. As far as when it comes to our people, the only person I unsubscribed to was the big dude Cartoon from Fire Trey. And
I heard his channel, but I don't know too much about him. What happened?
Okay. All right. So say like the clique I'm from. Even though we on the east side, I'm from Fodu, and the other clique is 4 Trey, 4-8. We gangsta Crips. But on the east side, we kick it with the East Coast Crips. But they titled they neighborhood Crips. So this clique didn't change. When I mean clique, meaning like the neighborhood Crips don't get along with the gangster Crips. So that to me that started on the west side. Far as with the A-Trays in the 60s, Warren, right? So make a long story short, the Avalon, they Avalon gangster Crips, but they real tight with the A-Tray gangster Crips. We always been cool with the A-Tray gangster Crips because we all gangsters. So just recently I seen a video, the A-Trays was dissing our neighborhood, saying, oh, they 4 traders, they get along with the neighborhood, but they talking about the East Coasters. But certain parts of the 40s, now the West Side 40s got different cliques. They got Park Side, they got Dark Side, they got the Avenues, and they got Western Side. We kick it with the Dark Side 40 because my brother's from over there. So anyway,
R.I.P. S-Bone.
Yeah. So the A-Trades is mad at our homies talking about we neighborhood lovers. So when I seen the video on there, the A-Trades dissing, and I'm reading the comments, and I see Cartoon on there like, yeah, fuck them, they busters, woo, this and that. But he put 4-3 and putting a K by there, and I'm thinking like, damn man, you 60-something years old, still internet gang banging. I'm like, damn, I ain't never met the dude. I always had respect for him because he had a household name on the east side, and he been in and out of jail like then half his life. So when I saw that, I said, oh no, I'm cool on dude, man. I can't believe he did that. And like, you got to think, their neighborhood is real close to our neighborhood, so we got family. No matter our hoods is beefing, but we still I got a stepson from 40 Avalon, who I raised. So that's why I'm like, damn, I'm calling, some of their homies. I'm like, man, what's up with your homeboy? He dissing, putting 4 Trey killer on the internet and everything. And that's when I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to subscribe to his channel, man, because I had a lot more respect for him. It's like, man, you should be out here leading by example, not out here, keeping the confusion going. And I had to get off this channel, man. I'm like, that's crazy, man, for him to be that old. And I'm gonna tell you what really bothered me, because he just did an interview with the dude I was telling you about, Swanee Fly from Philly. I'm cool with Swanee Fly. He just did a interview with him at their park. So you a Peachtree with a blood, but you want Peachtree with no Crips. To me, that's backwards. That's the part I didn't understand. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to the channel. I don't want to hear nothing he say, man, because I had him on the pedestal so high, like he's this OG Avalon, that's been putting in work, paid his dues, went to the pen, got out, and I was supporting his channel. But when I seen him did that, when I seen how he was dissing hood, I said, oh no, I'm cool. He older than me. I'm 56. He got to be at least 59, 60, I think, right now. Yeah, that's too old. I'm not knocking nobody. You still want to represent your hood at that age, that's what you do. I'm not knocking that. But, to be doing that online, and he don't even live in LA. He way in Alabama somewhere. So it's like you trying to start confusion down here in LA, and you ain't even gonna be down here when the drama happens.
Oh, he's not in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he don't even live down there, because as soon as he got the pen, he stayed down there, back south. But he comes down here, and when he come down there, he'll go to his park, he'll be in his hood, go over there, kick with all his little homies, and meet all his new little homies that he don't know, and then he'll stay about a week or whatever, then he'll go back home. And that's the part I was calling their homies. I'm like, man, that's crazy that he online doing that, because when that drama happened, when dudes start going at it with each other, he ain't gonna be nowhere around. He gonna be back in Alabama while y'all down here, going to jail or getting killed, or it's vice versa. And they was like, yeah, you right, man. I said, man, I know I'm right, man. I said, I've been around for a while. I'm like, man, ain't no way in the world I would get online and be dissing y'all hood like that, and I stay way in Texas somewhere. Starting all kind of stuff down here. I said, no, I couldn't do that, man.
Damn. Well, you know what? Thank you for keeping that positive energy in the air, man, just in everything you do. Let's end it on a positive note. Everybody, DJ BLVD RODD is where you can follow him on Instagram. What else you have going on, man? The floor is yours.
Yeah, other than that, man, I just got my YouTube. Not my YouTube, my Instagram page cracking, and like you just feel, everything.
Got some funny ass. I don't know where you get those videos from, dog, but you had me cracking up with those videos.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Really, I try to base my page off of just trying to make somebody laugh, man, because everybody have a bad day. Like I be having bad days. Yeah. So like when I have bad days, I follow a lot of Instagram comedians. So I look at their videos to make myself laugh. And some of their stuff I take off their page and I put it on my page to make somebody else laugh. And I ain't even gonna lie, Dusty, since I've been doing that in the beginning, I only had like about 2,700 followers. I got like 10,000 already now just for posting them videos.
Hell yeah. I love hearing that.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Yeah, man.
That.
So
that's dope.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I just want to give a shout out to you, Dusty, man, because I like what you're doing. You're doing your thing. I ain't gonna lie, you working hard. I can't even watch all your videos. You post them so fast, man. So
appreciate you.
I'm proud of that. Yeah, I just want to give you a shout out, man, and I'm gonna try to keep up much as I can, though.
Much love, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and we'll definitely do it again in 2024. All right.
Okay, for sure, homie, man. You take care, man.
You take care, man. Talk to you soon. Now. Peace.
Okay. All right, later.
I'm at a crossroads every damn day, looking back at my past when I sleep. But living on the edge, not doing enough. Iniquity down to my feet. What do I do when I need a little food and I gotta get the money for the rent? Fall to my knees, pray to the Lord, come on son, he can give me some money, repent. What, thank you. I really love you, baby, so I spank you. Life is a wet straight fucking you up. Living in a prison, I'ma shank you. So what's love got to do with it? With my heart on my sleeve, I'm a foe. But she said she loved me, she wanted to hug me under my sheets, so it's get told.
And I spy with my little mind's eye dreams that'll be beyond what you can see in daylight. Baby, ignore the rain, and everything gon' be okay. And while the world burns, I'll be near the skyline, and I'll be biding my time till I can ride the wave. Then everything gon' be okay. Yeah. What are the chances? You're picking a flight, we're leaving tonight. Pack up your bags, we're leaving this place and this baggage. Cause what can we do while Rome is collapsing? But not in a day, we'll be okay. Let's hit the off your Jackson. I'll pull up the map then, cause I'm through keeping up with these Joneses. Don't care what they're posting, you only see what they show you. Let's fall off the grid then, cause we don't owe nothing to no one. Darling, just listen and it'll be just like starting over. And I spy with my little mind's eye dreams that'll be beyond what you can see in daylight. Baby, ignore the rain, and everything gon' be okay. And while the world burns, I'll be near the skyline, and I'll be biding my time till I can ride the wave. Then everything gon' be okay.